Hey everyone, my name is Udit. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the product sense on-site round of the Facebook UX researcher interview. At the end of this video, you should have a pretty good understanding of what interviewers are looking for in this round, some sample questions to practice against, and some tips to really rock it. As a quick introduction, I'm from Prepfully. We offer online anonymous mock interviews with someone who's actually worked in your target company and role, alongside a host of other interview prep services. So in this context, we've got a bunch of Facebook UX researchers who've been helping candidates with mock interviews and advice, and who've also helped us put together some relevant content, this video being a good example of it. So, on to the product sense round. For context, this is part of the on-site round, so you get to it only after passing your recruiter chat and your phone screen, so only start worrying about it once you get to that stage. First off, let's discuss what the interviewer is trying to assess and why. Your interviewer is primarily interested in three things. A, can you map user research to a product iteration that could have meaningful impact? So can you turn an abstract goal or problem statement and identify what it would mean for a product given a range of research outcomes? B, can you take a need or a pain point, which is a pretty large problem space, and break it down into smaller components that can be discretely, potentially atomically, be assessed? Can you identify the right research methodology to the right problem statement? Can you extract findings which are tangible enough to iterate against? And C, can you integrate the realities of product development and the curveballs you can often encounter in this reality into your research process? So can you balance what you need to research against the constraints of what engineering can build, or what the business needs a decision on in a specific time frame or with a budget limit? Can you handle unexpected requirements or new data that comes up mid-research? Can you deal with making recommendations with ambiguous findings? Do you know how to keep on digging until you find something meaningful? So, given all this information, here's two examples of questions that you could potentially practice against. Question 1. You work at a ride-sharing company and you've been asked to investigate a decline in satisfaction rating among riders. How are you going to go about this? And question 2. Let's say there's been an observation that some users are posting identical content to the newsfeed and to stories. You've been asked to understand this better. What are you going to do next? For this round then, and for questions like the ones I've just outlined, I've got 3 tips. The first is, in these questions, think like a product manager. Clarify, scope, always ask the why, always keep in mind how you'd measure impact, and you'll automatically tick a lot of the checkboxes that you need to in this interview. 2, look back at your projects and think of what you'd have done had things been slightly different. So what if you had a lot more time? Or what if you found something contradictory to what you were expecting? What if you found no meaningful results at all? Thinking about this sort of stuff can really help you broaden your perspective and potentially make it easier for you to answer the theoretical but similar questions you're going to get in this round. Thirdly, and most importantly, practice. This round is an important one since Facebook wants UX researchers who aren't just good at the craft, but who can map the craft to product value. So practice with friends, practice with PMs if you can find them, or book a mock with a Facebook UX researcher on Prepfully to get the same sort of practice and feedback on where the gaps might be. Cool, so that's all from me. That's our guidance from Prepfully and our experts on doing a great job in Facebook's product sense round for the UX researcher interview. Once you feel ready for some practice or just want a sense check of your preparation level, you can always book an anonymous mock interview with a Facebook UX researcher on Prepfully. There's a link in the description below. In addition, I've also linked to a bunch of other useful resources for this interview. There's a written guide going into a lot more depth. There are other videos. There's also interview questions to practice against, so feel free to check that out. And if you have any follow-up questions about the interview, as always, ask in the comments below. And if you found this video useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks and good luck.
Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please subscribe. Our website is prepfully.com. We've got lots of interview questions there. You can also schedule a mock interview with one of our experts. You can find the link in the description below. All the best from us at Prepfully, and we hope you totally rock your interview.